years and has made remarkable changes at every level of the school district. But I am so proud that his philosophy and mine are exactly the same. If you're not safe and you don't feel safe at school, you don't thrive and you don't learn. And our job is to provide safety and security at school so that it's transparent to the children, but at the same time, they're safe. And they're safer in our public schools today than they have ever been. We're taking that a step further. And I want to turn this over to Superintendent Hyde for him to explain to you what his vision was, and then I'll wrap up because we are supporting his vision to keep children safe, even off of campus. Mr. Hyde?
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. As a representative for Polk County Public Schools, we are thrilled to be here, and as the sheriff pointed out, our number one mission is to ensure the health, safety, and welfare of our students. Academics come second to that, and part of that is ensuring that students feel that the climate is conducive to teaching and learning, and our staff feel that same way. This last year, we had an unprecedented number of student fatalities due to vehicular and pedestrian issues, due to automobile accidents, and it's just a reality that, unfortunately, in our community, we continue to grow. That means we have more drivers on the roads, there's more opportunities for drivers to be distracted on the road, and we need to take every single step possible to ensure the safety of our children as they travel to and from school each day. Approximately 50,000 students will ride school buses this year. It's an incredible job that our drivers do, but last school year, as we collected data for this proposal, we had over 400 instances where drivers, our bus drivers, reported that somebody had unsafely passed the school bus after it had stopped. And so we have to take, again, every precaution to ensure that our students can exit and enter the school bus safely. So I'm very pleased that the sheriff and others were willing to work with us on this initiative and support us, because we need our drivers to understand that with just 2 weeks before the start of school, we need to ramp up awareness so that our students can get to and from school each day without incident. We lost 22 students last year alone to traffic fatalities. That is a number and a situation that none of us want to deal with. The number of viewings and funerals that we've attended this last year is unprecedented and unacceptable. Our students should not be put in that position. And so we're thrilled to have this opportunity to work in partnership so that we can upgrade the safety standards on our school buses and guarantee our parents and guardians that we're taking every possible precaution to protect their children. Thank you.
I thank the Florida legislature and Governor DeSantis for passing this legislation that allows us to put traffic cameras on school buses. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that historically I have opposed red light cameras at intersections, because I truly believe before you give someone a traffic citation, as a law enforcement officer, we owe them the respect to say, you ran the red light at this intersection, why? So if you're going to give somebody what I call a traditional traffic citation, you certainly should give them the opportunity to explain why they committed this infraction. So that's why I've never supported red light cameras, and I still don't support red light cameras. When Mr. Hyde came to us with this legislation change, I immediately embraced red light cameras on school buses. There is absolutely nothing in this world more important to us than our children. And we are so fortunate to be the police department for the Polk County school system. So we embrace that, and Jill Seymour, my major, and our team of the Division of Safe Schools has been working for months in order to make this happen. Interestingly enough, the law requires a 30-day education period. We are going to provide more than a 60-day education period before we start writing citations. And the reality is, we love y'all. We don't want to give you a traffic citation. Just stop for the school bus. But as much as we love you, we love the safety of those children more. And if you run a red light that can run a stop school bus with the lights out, then you're going to be fined. If you want to appeal that fine, there's a system in place. If you say, whoa, I may own the car, but I wasn't driving the car, there's a form you can fill out and identify who was driving the car, and the liability for the citation moves to them. If you don't pay the $198 fine, then it gets really expensive when we issue another citation. So if you get this notice in the mail, there's also the opportunity for you to link in and see the actual running of the stop sign on the school bus. We're going to be fair. We're going to give you a clear voice with this, even though it won't be at the moment of the infraction. But it's also important to understand if one of our deputies, irrespective of the red light camera on the school bus stop sign, I'm sorry, not the red light, but the camera on the stop sign of the school bus, that deputy can still give you a citation. And obviously, we won't give you one with the camera and one from the deputy, but the one from the deputy costs more. So it's a discounted, if you will, traffic citation if the camera writes it. So at the end of the day, keeping the children safe is what is most important. I want you to think about this in this county. The city of Lakeland is the largest city. When school lets in every day, there are more people on the campuses of our school system. The system becomes the single largest city in the county. And most of the citizens in that city are certainly children under the age of 18. And then we have to get them there. And 50,000, almost 50% of the population rides on a school bus. Keeping them safe on a school bus is important. So that's our endeavor. Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, can you just explain how the cameras actually work? Like, are they recording the whole time? Do they start when the bus stops? Like, how does that work? And also, for people watching, just remind what the laws are.
We have a representative that can explain that in great detail.
And sir, if you could just say your name too.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Matt Reich with Vera Mobility. We'll be partnering with Polk County Schools and the Polk County Sheriff's Office. To answer your question pretty precisely, the cameras only turn on once the school bus stops and the stop arm comes fully out. That's the system activates, and then it captures cars illegally passing that stopped school bus.
What has studies shown as far as this actually reducing people passing a stopped school bus?
Yeah, I can actually answer that as well. What you see is that 98% of people that violate the school bus and receive a citation and pay it do not get a second one. So it shows that it changes that driver behavior long term.
Question for Superintendent Hyde. The unprecedented number of student pedestrian deaths last year, is there a number or statistic on how many of those stem from illegal passing?
To my knowledge, only one student last year was struck as a result of somebody illegally passing. They hit their brakes very, very quickly. They didn't realize the bus had stopped. They veered off, but there were students already exiting the bus. The rest are pedestrian vehicular issues.
And what area was that illegal? Do you know what area that was?
I do not recall.
Highway 17, there here, just outside Haines City.
Yes.
The drunk driver.
Yeah.
And again, just if you can remind people what the law is, how for the medians and all that.
Certainly, the law says if you're on a 4-lane divided highway with a raised median and you're going in the opposite direction, you don't have to stop. If it is a grass median and you're going in the opposite direction, you don't have to stop. If it's a painted median and a flat road, you do have to stop. Now, the policy of the school board, which I totally support, is we don't let children off on one side of the road and expect them to walk across 5 lanes of traffic, even though there's no grass or raised median. But the law says you have to stop. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I read on the developer's website that this is like a violator-funded program. Is that correct? That the citations pay for the technology?
That is accurate.
That's correct. The citations go into a fund, and it pays for the cost and the maintenance to operate the system. There has to be a deputy to review the citation. When Vera Mobility captures it, they send it to us. We review it. We say it's good to go, issue a citation. That costs money. There's infrastructure costs for the cameras and maintenance costs for 500 buses. So the goal here is not a money grab at all. And it's very limited how the money can be spent to prohibit such a money grab. But it's a huge undertaking, folks. When you drive down the road every day when there's school and you see these big yellow school buses, you don't think about the infrastructure cost to put those buses on the road. It's not just a driver and a bus and some fuel. There is a very, very detailed process in order to deal with all the infrastructure and the scheduling, and so we can't take that money and operate the entire system. It's just the safety and security system. Okay.
Is this being used in other parts of the country, or is this
This is a new law in Florida, and there are other jurisdictions, I'm certain, that are using it.
Superintendent, you said that there were 400 complaints from bus drivers, I think, last year. How frustrating is that 400 people maybe don't know about the law and you could have shared that awareness with them?
Yeah, let me clarify a little bit further. There were actually more reported instances. However, we recognize that a driver may be reporting someone as they see the car passing as the stop arm's coming out. So we kind of cut the number in half. So that's the number I shared with you. But it is frustrating. And that we have these big yellow school buses that you cannot miss, bright flashing lights and our drivers do a very good job as well of being patient in traffic. So in most instances, when our driver will stop, part of our training is allow the flow of traffic to go past them before they extend the stop arm. So that therefore we should not be putting anybody in jeopardy of getting a ticket that they were not deserving of. So the 400 are instances where people actually drove around the bus after the stop arm had been extended. And those are concerns. And it's especially concerning when you look at some of our neighborhood stops, because they could be a certain distance from a turn. There may be hidden drives, there may be other issues there that drivers are not aware of, and we recognize everyone's trying to get someplace. But we launched last school year because of the number of unprecedented tragedies that we had Arrive Alive with our students, and we educating our students and our families and our community, and this is just an extension of that at this point. So
That was the 1 day study.
one day, sorry.
Yeah,
that was the 1 day.
that 400 complaints was a one-day snapshot. Don't think we're just going to issue 400 traffic citations a year, probably 400 a day or 200 a day for a period of time until they figure it out. But keep this in mind, that we will review every one of these traffic these camera views that come to us. If a bus driver has made a mistake and short-stopped a car, that person won't get the citation. The deputy has the unilateral authority to say, no, they weren't given the appropriate time to stop for that sign. It was impossible for them to stop, and they won't be cited. And a tie goes to the motorist, okay? So this is going to be a system where if you get a notice in the mail that you have this citation and you go, I don't remember running that, you can click on the link and watch that, and you'll go, oh, there's no doubt about this. My car ran it, but it wasn't me, it was my 17-year-old kid, so he'll or she'll be paying the citation, or I'll pay it for him and I'll take it out of some other resource from them, if you're a responsible parent. Okay, one other thing, well, don't turn those cameras off yet. I'm not finished talking. Y'all, I need some help here. July 27th, we're going to have two more back-to-school bashes. It's going to be at our northeast station and our southwest station. We're going to provide backpacks, supplies. It's donated by Polk Sheriff Charities, donations from our folks in the community. And the reason for this, there's a lot of children that can't afford a backpack, pens, pencils, crayons, and equipment for school. For a child to learn and to thrive, they need to have all the tools, and we're helping. Now, here's the deal. You can't show up with one child and ask for 4 backpacks. You want 4 backpacks? Bring 4 school-age children with you. And it's going to be a festive, fun occasion. And once again, it's all about our crime prevention, our trust funds, our charity, and the community getting together so that we can make sure that children who otherwise could not afford the tools in order to thrive at school are given that. We've already had either 2 or 3 of these, and this is the last one. We were at 2 or 3 locations a couple of weeks ago. But please, show up with your children, have a great time, and get your backpack. If you can afford to pay for it, don't show up. Save that for children who can't afford it, okay? Look forward to seeing you. It's going to be July 27th, 9 to noon, northeast and southwest district stations, okay?
Thank you.
All right, God bless y'all. See you soon.
Appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.